Good morning from the campsite here in Denmark. Today we are moving on, but first things first, as you can probably tell, the car is a mess. Part of that is, I don't know if you can tell, but I've got a lot of bottles that need recycling and you can get 10 cents back per bottle. I also want to find a campsite. It's not quite free camping. I think they charge $10 or $15 a night, which is like $8 maybe. It looks really cool. It's not that expensive, but it is first come first serve, and I have no idea how that works. I don't know how busy it is. If I show up at 10 AM, is that too early? Is still people there? Can I not check in? They say that you can't book ahead and you can't call ahead, so it's just show up and hope for the best. So I think that might be my first stop. Then I need gas, do all of that, but then we're gonna see some cool stuff. That is the plan at least. But first things first, let's go drive to... Not sure what's first on the list. Maybe the campsite first. I don't know what comes first in Google Maps, but let's get going. What a spot. Also, it's boiling hot because it's supposed to be 37 degrees today, but I think I have found so far my favorite campsite out of all the campsites I've stayed at so far, which isn't many, but still. Because like right behind me, right behind this sand dune is where my car is. So I'm staying at Cozy Corner East, which is, it's not a free campsite, but it's kind of like a first come first serve situation. So I am paying $15 a night, which is pretty good for a campsite right on the beach. You don't need a four-wheel drive to get here, but the roads are a little bit, it's not paved roads. Like I said, it is supposed to be 37 degrees today, which is boiling hot. I do want to do some things because I don't have to be at most time before I need to be in Melbourne, which is in about 5 weeks time, maybe 6. So I do want to go out and explore some stuff, and we'll see how far we get with the heat. The plan for now is to go just south of Albany, just quite before Albany, coming from the west at least. Frenchman Bay. I think there's also a place called the Gap, and there's a few other things that I've marked. I don't quite remember what they all are because I marked them like over the years, so I've got a big map of a lot of things that I want to see. Anyways, that's where we're headed today. It is a 39-minute drive, I think, like 40 minutes. I have yet to figure out what is more cost efficient, paying a little bit extra for an actual campsite. Like this is a campground, not quite a campsite. And then not having to drive as far, or spending the money on fuel and like less expensive campsites. But for now, $15 a night, perfect. The flies there are insane, by the way, but you know, issue for later. We're just gonna explore for now and see what we can find. I've made it to the Gap and the Natural Bridge. They're both absolutely stunning, and the water is so incredibly blue, but it's also very wild, which is awesome to see. It is a $17 fee to get in unless you've got the National Park Pass, which I have, and I feel like I'm really getting my money's worth, even though I didn't actually pay for it. It was already on the car when I got the car, but still, I think if you do like 8 to 10 national parks, it's already worth it. Look at the Gap behind me. Well, not the Gap, the Natural Bridge, but that is absolutely stunning. The water isn't that high though. And nobody else is here, but look at the view behind me. That is awesome. Australia's really stunning. Alright, next up are the Blowholes, just 5 minutes down the road. I do have a feeling that it's low tide though, because even the Natural Bridge there wasn't that much water underneath. So I'm not entirely sure how much water there will be in the Blowholes, but it's 5 minutes down the road, so we're just gonna check it out. It is so incredibly peaceful here. I could do with less flies though, but you can barely hear anything. And look again, look at the view. It is a bit of a walk to get here, but mind you, it's currently about 11 a.m. I'd say, and it is already 34 degrees, so it's nice and warm, which makes this not any easier than it already is, but the views do make up for it. The blowholes are right behind me, but also kind of underwhelming. It's mostly a lot of wind and noise, but there's no water spraying up out of it, which I kind of expected. But I think it's partially not enough wind maybe, and low tide, and I'm not entirely sure, maybe the wind from the wrong direction. But kind of underwhelming. I think maybe if it is in top form, I suppose it could be worth it. But I mean, if you're here for the other stuff, you might as well pop by and have a look. But I've seen better things. I have made it to Frenchman Bay Beach, but as you can tell from my face, even in the car, it is absolutely boiling hot. We're still gonna check it out and see what it's all about. There is also a place here called Peak Head, which is a hike that you can do to a viewpoint. I really wanted to do that one. That was not the whole reason that I came here, but that is the main thing that I wanted to do in this area. However, given the weather, once again, I am not doing that. It is 35 degrees right now and it is hot. So I guess we'll check out the beach. Salmon Beach is nearby, and Salmon Holes, I think is what it's called. I'm assuming that's another place for blowholes, but unfortunately they are temporarily closed. So I think this is pretty much the last thing that I want to do here in the area. Enjoying the view, having a few snacks because it is lunchtime nearly, and as gorgeous as it is, there's more places out there, so let's go explore some other stuff.